Hello, welcome to Yellow Crypto. I'm Daniel Scott Jacobs. Today is Friday, February 21st, and today we're going to talk about where the price of Bitcoin will be in the year 2025. If you're a crypto YouTuber, you have to come out with a video like this. You have to give prices on Bitcoin. You just have to. So I'm going to. Now, this video is going to be, I'm going to try to make it as entertaining as possible, but I did the most common sense methods to predict the price of Bitcoin based on past cycles, okay? You can see whether they add up or not, but I think it's something important to take a look at. I did a lot of work for you, so I think this video is important to watch. Let's get started. So, Bitcoin cycle layout, right? So Bitcoin works in 4-year cycles, right? 4-year cycles being the top of one bull run to the top of the next bull run, okay? Works in 4-year cycles. It's almost like, wow, it sounds so easy to make money. And the thing that it is, we just overcomplicate it. But let's take a look. So 2009 was the genesis, the start, the bear beginning, okay? I consider the beginning of bear market. Then the peak was in 2013. Then we had the bear trough, 2015, peak 2017, trough 2019, peak 2021, trough 2023, 2023, bear trough, and 2025 to 2026, bull peak plus consolidation. Now, I made this bull peak and consolidation, and I extended the year into 2026 because I've heard people saying it rather makes sense a little bit. Again, we might be overthinking it, but I do think the 4-year cycle is going to break eventually, and we're going to start to see more consolidation and less volatility. I don't think we're going to have an 80% drawback this year. I just don't. Because I think a lot more people are going to buy and hold, especially because you have Trump propelling the industry. And once ETFs came out, we really were at full adoption. So that's going to help hold the price steady. But let's take a look at what a cycle, the stages of a Bitcoin cycle. So we have the takeoff, right? Then the halving occurs, and that's when they cut the block reward in half for miners, okay? So miners who validate transactions, there's over 4,000, I think closer to 5,000 computers all over the world that verify transactions and check the transactions with themselves, and whoever solves the next block gets a Bitcoin reward, okay? Every 210 blocks, there's a halving, okay? Then we have a correction. I would assume we're probably right around here or here for this bull run. Then we have a bear trap correction, greed speculators. This is where a lot of retail traders come in, which is unfortunate because they hold through the blow off top, and it's completely hard to sell at the top. But that's the thing, you want to sell on the way up, and that's the way to really stack Bitcoin. Is you want to sell starting like from halfway up the top to the top of the top, because you never know when the top of the top or the bottom will drop. No, you don't know. You're not going to be able to time the top. Okay, so you want to sell on the way up in increments. Okay, I still do this with coins. Like as soon as a coin reaches Coinbase, I buy it, and usually, generally once it gets to 60%, I start to sell. Sometimes they go to 150%, and I always hold on to a little bit in case there's a blow off top. I can sell the rest and try to get a few more bucks. But that's the method you want to do. Now, if you don't know anything about crypto, or you're just buying Bitcoin, dollar cost averaging and holding, that's great. That's what I would recommend, and that's what I suggest most people do. Okay, this is not financial advice. Nothing in this video is. Although I am a financial expert, it's not financial advice. Okay. But if you want to buy and hold and just hold, that's great. That's great. Everybody should be participating in the market, put at least 10% in. That's what I suggest. I'm like 95% in, but that's just me. Okay, people have just different risk tolerances, so do what you can handle. But Michael Saylor says, like, you know how the saying is like, don't bet with money you can't afford to lose. He says, bet with money you can't afford to lose. Right? So you want to so that's because he's so confident about it, and I'm right there in line with him. But this is the stages of a Bitcoin cycle. Let's move on. So, variables to consider when predicting the future price of Bitcoin. So we have growing number of alternative coins available to purchase. This just sucks up liquidity. Okay, like if people weren't buying these shit coins that came out, which I buy too, so I'm guilty of it too, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It just takes money away from Bitcoin and other blue chip stocks, so other cryptos. Interest rate decisions by the Fed, QE and QT. So interest rates, when they're lower, there's cheaper money around, right, for the banks to lend you. So that obviously helps with the price of Bitcoin. It's not going to hurt it. U.S. dollar index to Dixie. You can find this by typing like DXY on TradingView or into Google, I'm sure. But we want to see a weaker dollar. When there's a strong dollar, people tend to pile into that. When the dollar goes down, people buy alternative assets like Bitcoin and crypto to hedge against inflation. U.S. government on strategic Bitcoin reserve and regulation. So I feel like we're going to see a lot of developments this year. Probably a strategic Bitcoin reserve, which is going to be great for the price. And timing is going to play a role in that too. Like if that comes out like during the bull run, like that's obviously going to be better, and we're going to see more upside from that as if it were to be released or disclosed in the bull market, right? And regulation, I feel like he should lower taxes on crypto. He wants to bring everything onshore, everything domestic. And by lowering taxes, you can do that. Because right now, anybody who's big on crypto, they go to Dubai or they go to like Singapore. Or Puerto Rico, or somewhere where they have big tax breaks and incentives for them to live there, or at least say they live there for 6 months out of the year. U.S. states adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet. Okay, last time I checked, which was like 2 weeks ago, there's about 9 states that are applying to be able to put some of their treasury into Bitcoin, so that's really big. You're only going to see that number grow. Bitcoin halving, the latest in April 2024. So generally after the halving, we have a bull run. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. And then the bond market. You want to see lower bond yields, and that's going to signify not uncertainty, but possibly QE coming from the Fed. And when there's lower bond yields, people look for alternative places to put their money. I just made a video on this, how bonds relate to crypto, so you can watch that. That's important to watch. I can't say it's the most exciting, but this is all stuff you should know if you're watching this video, you're probably an active crypto person. So these are things you're going to want to know. And that's why I make the videos, because I live on crypto now. I don't have a 9 to 5. I just do crypto. And I want to show you what I do in order to be able to sustain my lifestyle and just do crypto, because you can make simple trades, make a couple grand a week, and do just fine. So additional positives for the cycle. So the next halving is expected in April 2024. Okay, that just happens. I don't know why it says expected. So based on history, a major bull run could follow in 2025, which for all intents and purposes, we're in right now. Michael Saylor and his company Strategy, which used to be MicroStrategy, they've since changed the name to Strategy with a little Bitcoin symbol exponent, which is really cool. He's really big on crypto. He says buy and sell. I can say almost for a certainty, I'd bet money on it, that if Michael Saylor wasn't around and wasn't a big Bitcoin advocate, the price would be lower, right? I think we can all say that just because he's bought so much, not because he's bought so much, just because the impact he has on sentiment, right? A lot of people look at him, everybody listens to his interviews, he's called on TV all the time, on news stations, and he really is a big proponent for Bitcoin, so I think that's really important. Exchange traded funds, ETFs. So when ETFs came out, right, that's when really like full and mainstream adoption really took hold, right? Because the thing is, now you know Bitcoin's not going anywhere. It's tried and true. BlackRock is in on Bitcoin. And they were saying for a while, oh, we're unsure about Bitcoin, while they were buying it, right? So a lot of times, and that's another thing, when people give their expectations and their price predictions on Bitcoin, a lot of times they're saying higher than they think it is because they need liquidity. They want you to buy their bags, right? So you have to kind of keep that in mind. Government adoption, U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve. Many U.S. states applying for Bitcoin reserves. I already mentioned that. SEC repeals SAB 121. So SAB 121 was an accounting method where if you had crypto assets on your balance sheet, they were counted as a liability. Okay, now they aren't. Okay, so that's really good, and that just opens the door and is a bigger incentive and not a downside for institutions to purchase Bitcoin and put it on their balance sheet. Okay, so these are some additional positives for the cycle, which we haven't had the other cycles other than the halving. Okay, sure, Michael Saylor was here last cycle, but he was not bullish and he was not getting nearly as much attention as he is this cycle, right? Okay, so this is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. This is something everybody, if you're at this level, if you're watching this video, I assume you're pretty into crypto, and like even if you're someone who buys and holds, you're still pretty into crypto, right? The thing is, you want to try to bring other people into crypto. That's the whole point. But the Crypto Fear and Greed Index takes a bunch of variables: volume, Bitcoin price, sentiment, Google Trends, and kind of compiles it into a number and tells you if we're greedy or we're fearful, right? Right now we're right in the neutral range, which makes sense. And this isn't always indicative of like a bull market top. Like if you look, we're in early 22. Let's see, October 2024. We're in like late 2024. We weren't at the top of the cycle, and you can see the extreme greed was up there. Okay. Now, what I will say is when we are at the top, you can damn well expect that or know that extreme greed, we will be in the extreme greed zone. So this is not something you want to base all your decisions on, but it is something to pay attention to. Another thing to pay attention to is this. So this is Google Trends, okay? You go to Google, type in Google Trends, and it's going to give you search data. So I put in Bitcoin, I put in crypto. So if we take a look here, let's take a look at all the searches that came out, and it does it by country too. It's actually really cool and it's very useful for things other than cryptocurrency. Okay, like knitting bear sweatshirts for homeless people or something. I've never done that, but I don't know why I said that. But anyway, if we take a look, Bitcoin's in blue, crypto's in a reddish or the red here. You can see now this actually kind of gets me excited because price is consolidating around 100,000, and we've got a downtick in searches here. Like this would be the 2021 bull run, right? You can see searches were high actually in 2017 bull run, which is interesting, but you can see almost a line through here. But I suspect we're going to go much higher than this, especially once as Trump continues to speak about Bitcoin. Now, this is usually a lagging indicator, meaning this will happen after price takes off because people see, oh, wow, Bitcoin's in the news because the price is really high. Let me search for it. Let me buy some, okay? Which, if you already own Bitcoin, is a good thing because they're buying it. And we need, in order for you to make money, you need people to buy the asset after you. Never forget that. But then again, when you do sell, you are taking money from someone else. Which is, again, kind of like cutthroat and like bloodthirsty, but hey, fuck them, right? You know, we've all been victim of like losing trades, and that's just how it goes. But the more education you suck up, the better you're going to do. That's why you watch videos like this, right? So this is another indicator for you to pay attention to. So you might want to use this combined with the Fear and Greed Index. Now we're going to get into some numbers. Now I want you to pay attention because this is just common sense, basic stuff based on last cycles of what percentage we expect to do. And they're actually... I wish they were more useful, but let's take a look at them and I'll explain what I did here. So this is gains in percentages, gains in a percent of last cycle from trough to peak, okay? So let's take a look here. So 2011 to 2013 cycle. The bear market low, approximately $2.93 in November 2011, okay? I didn't take like the precipitous. I just took around where it kind of bottomed out. So bull market high around $329 in April 2013. So percentage increase approximately 11,130%, right? Woo! I mean, like, woo! Sorry. So 2015, 2017 cycle, so bear market low, about $163 in August 2015. Now again, we're going from trough to peak, so we're not taking the peak from last cycle. We're going to do that later. About $163 in August 2015. Bull market high, approximately $20,000 in December of 2017. Percentage increase, notice it's more than the last cycle, is $12,170. Sorry, 12,170%. Okay, I didn't round for this one. I think I rounded for the other ones just to make it easier because like I'm not going to say all this nonsense. 2018 to 2021 cycle. Bear market low around 3,300 in December 2018. Bull market high approximately 68,000 in November 2021. It's actually like 69, a little bit closer to 69, depending on, again, not all markets are the same. Sometimes some have scam wicks and stuff like that. A lot of that is to wash out like leverage traders. But we're going by 68,000 for this, and the percentage increase was about 1,690%. So the 2022 to 2024 cycle, bear market low, approximately 16,000. I remember that day. I was working. I was on a roof, actually. I don't do that anymore because I do crypto. The bull market high surpassed 100,000 in December 2024. So I calculated this at 108,000. So percentage increase was over 570%. So the thing is, with Bitcoin, we don't have a lot of data to go by. So we're going to use what we have. We're not going to use any TA indicators. We're just going to use based on past cycles, and we're going to see if we can get any information from it. So 2017 cycle, 2021 cycle decreased by 84%. I didn't include the 2020 these first two cycles or the percentage difference because it increased, and it's just going to mess up the mathematics here. So it decreased by 84%. So if we take our percentage gain of last cycle, 2018 to 2021, which was 1,960, 84%. This actually, I actually wrote this wrong, but 16% of 1,960 is 314%. We're already past that because we're already over 575%. Okay, from the trough to the peak. So this is not a great thing to go by, but again, like you want to know these numbers because, like, let's say this was right? We would go by this every time. Let's move on. So this is gains of last cycle from peak to peak. So peak of one cycle to the peak of the next cycle, what percentage gain can we get anything from that? So I spelled that wrong. Jesus, I'm so bad. So 2013 bull run, Bitcoin's price surged from approximately $13 in January 2013 to 1,174 by December 2013, marking an increase of about 9,930%. Okay. 2017 bull run. The price escalated from around $1,174, remember the peak from last cycle, in January 2017 to nearly $20,000 by December 2017, resulting in a gain of approximately 1,603%. Okay? 2020 to 2021 bull run. Bitcoin's value rose from about $20,000 in January 2020 to over $68,000 by April 2021, achieving an increase of roughly 240%. Okie doke. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. So 2024 to 2025 bull run, which we are actively in, okay, starting at approximately 60,000 January 2024, Bitcoin reached over 108,000 by December 2024, marking an increase of about 58.82% so far. So, from the top in 2013 to the top in 2017, we lost 84%. So, this number right here is 16% of this number right here. Get it? So we lost 84% in the gain from the last cycle, okay? So from 2017 top to the 2021 top, we lost 85%. So almost the same, okay, which is good for math, for statistics. So this number here is roughly 15% of 1,603, okay? So again, we lost about the same, 85% from that. So this is getting better. However, it doesn't turn out how we quite want it to be. So at an 85, actually did 84.5%. I remember because I just did it. So an 84.5% loss of 240% right here, remember last cycle, is 34.8%. Okay? So 69,000, which is last cycle's top, plus 39% is 910,000. That's what the estimated based on this peak of the cycle would be. Clearly, we're quite past that. So this is not quite a good way to go by. But again, like these are numbers you're gonna want to know, right? You just want to know this stuff, right? Like people can pull out like TA and indicators and blah blah blah. But you want to know where we're at based on the past cycles to help kind of judge your decisions or help you with your decisions moving forward. Now I've got one more to show you based on this. So this is based on the halving. Okay, a lot of people think the halving is God. Bull run follows that because supply decreases. Okay, so 2013 halving to cycle high at the time of the halving is a 92x. Okay, 2017 halving to cycle high is a 30x. 2021 cycle halving to cycle high is an 8x. It keeps getting worse and worse, right? So decrease from 92x to 32x. We decreased 67.39% X's, okay? From going from 92 to 30. To 32. This should be 30, I think. Sorry. I've been working on this for a while, but I didn't really proofread it clearly. So a decrease from 30x to 8x is 73.33% decrease, okay? So now we're going to try to figure out what this cycle is going to be. So the percentage increase from 67.39%, right? The 92 to 30, to 73.33%, remember the 30 to the 8, is 8.81%. So that's what we're going to decrease by in percentages. So if we look at 73.33% plus 8.81%, right, because that's what we decreased from here to here, we're looking at a 79.79% decrease in return. Okay, so 79.79%, right, subtracted from an 8x is going to give us a 1.62x. So 162%, 1.62x, of where Bitcoin is at the time of the halving. The time of the halving was at 72,450 times 1.62x is 117,396. Okay, we don't know yet if this is accurate. Hopefully not. Right? We want it to go much higher. I'm going to give you my price in a few minutes here, but I'll give it to you now. I think we're going to be probably between 160 to 200, so I'm going to say 180,000. Okay? I generally tend to be a little more on the optimistic side, but then again, like, it's so hard to try to figure out, like, is a strategic reserve going to make that much difference? And if it does, how much are they going to buy? They're saying they want 1 million to 200,000 in 5 years, 200,000 every year, but like when are they going to buy that? How are they going to acquire that? Are they going to buy from the open market, right? Is it going to be like an OTC trade? Like these are things we don't know, so it's so hard to judge. But I think 172,000 is just too low. I mean, we're getting almost there already. But then again, who knows, right? It's possible that we could top out at 120,000, come down to 100, and then continue on an uptrend, and we might not see a crazy bear market again, right? These are just things we don't know, and adoption is here. We don't know the onboarding that's going to happen once there's a strategic Bitcoin reserve, okay? We just don't know these things. A lot of baby boomers are dying. They're giving money to the grandkids who are into crypto by now, probably. So that's a big thing to consider. So there's a lot going on. But right now we're going to look at what some experts are saying, and we're going to try to derive some information from them, okay? Oh, sorry, there's one more. Stock to flow model, okay? So this is probably the closest thing we're going to get in terms of guessing based on, like, not necessarily past cycles, but generally speaking, the halving. This is what they're based on. So how does it work? So stock equals the total existing supply of Bitcoin. Okay, the flow equals a new supply of Bitcoin entering the circulation each year. So the stock to flow model, how they get that, which is a chart, you can pull it up, is the total supply divided by annual production. So every about 4 years or so, you see an increase in supply because the production is cut down. So the model projected so this is in 2021. The model projected the price. It was right in 2013 and 2017, and it was pretty far off in 2021. But we're gonna adjust for that. So the model projected the price of Bitcoin would get to around, another typo, 100,000 to 135,000 in 2021. 2021 bull run. Okay. So they're wrong. Stock to flow model is wrong by 31% to 51%. Okay. So this year the model predicts around 250,000 Bitcoin to a 500,000 Bitcoin. Assuming the model is wrong by the same percentages, the price may be 172,500 to 245,000. That sounds pretty good. Okay. It would be nice. Well, then again, like, let's say there was a way to know where Bitcoin's going to be. If everybody makes moves and trades based on that, it is no longer viable. Okay? So that's the thing. So, like, there could be, like, indicators and methods and algorithms that once did make sense that no longer make sense. Okay? So that's something to keep in mind. Now we're going to look at what some experts say. So these are people that have been in the market longer than me. I've been in since 2019. I think I'm doing pretty well. But these people have been in longer, and they're I don't know. Let's take a look and see. Let's see what they say. I've got two more after this. These are guys that were right last bull run, and we're gonna see what they say for this bull run. So analysts BTC price predictions. So Galaxy Digital. So Alex Thorne, head of research, anticipates that Bitcoin's price will surpass 150,000 in the first half of 2025 and could reach 185,000 by year end. Okie doke. Bitwise and VanEck. Analysts from these firms project that Bitcoin could rise to between 180,000 and 200,000 in 2025. Okay, we're getting better. Investing Haven. Ooh, their research suggests a trading range for Bitcoin between 85,500 and 165,000 in 2025, with an average predicted price of 125,250. Okay, like I said, the top could be 125,000. Okay, like Trump's prediction or Trump's notion that he's gonna have a strategic Bitcoin reserve could already be priced in. Then again, he hasn't paid for it. Like, they already have 250,000 Bitcoin, so that's probably going to be their purchase for the first year. But then again, hopefully they do buy some. States are trying to add Bitcoin to the treasury, so hopefully they buy some. Michael Saylor will continue to buy some. I'll continue to buy some. You continue to buy some. Hopefully that brings the price up. Who knows? Let's look at two more analysts that were pretty right. The closest ones I could find for last cycle, okay? So qualified predictions. So who was correct in predicting the 2021 bull run top? The most accurate was Pentoshi and Bob Lucas. So Pentoshi warned of a market top of around 64K, another typo, in April, and again near 69K in November. Bob Lucas suggested the price action in late 2021 resembled past cycles and said that 69K was likely the peak. This cycle, Pentoshi expressed his optimism and said that Bitcoin could reach 180K by the end of 2025. Sounds pretty good. This cycle, Bob Lucas suggests that Bitcoin could reach an all-time high of 150K. He also indicated when Bitcoin surpassed 106K that it might not look back. That's a big thing to consider. Like, I wouldn't mind if we don't have a crazy big bull run, as long as we don't have any crazy bear markets, right? But then again, like, we don't know that. So, like, when do I sell? When do I hold? When do I buy more? All these things get confusing, and we're all in it together. Like, I know if you watch the Discover Crypto, BitBoy's old channel, TJ said that he expects Bitcoin to get over 200,000 this cycle. And then again, he knows he's been in crypto for a while, but people try to feed their own bags, try to mislead you, if they have ulterior motives. I don't. I'm trying to give you facts here. I don't know if I help you much, but these are numbers you want to be aware of, okay? I hope this video was helpful. Hit the subscribe button, okay? Like I said, my career now is crypto. I'm going to come out with NFTs. I'm planning a DAO that's going to come out a little later on this year, and I'll let you know about that. But if you want to try to participate in some things that I do so you can supplement your income or possibly live off cryptocurrency, then please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. I'll hopefully see you in the next one.